If you were suddenly placed in London in the year 1533, at the height of Anne Boleyn's rise, your senses would be overwhelmed before you even realized what you were looking at. Every corner of the city is alive, not just with people, but with the physical reality of a world built long before the conveniences we take for granted. There is no gentle transition into Tudor London. It meets you immediately, fully, and without apology. The smell of wood smoke, mud, damp wool, fish from the river, tallow candles, and the distinct presence of thousands of humans living closely together. It all arrives at once, creating a scent that becomes a constant companion, whether you want it or not. You step onto the ground and immediately notice what centuries have erased from memory. The streets feel soft. They are not paved. There is no stone under your feet unless you are standing near a church or a wealthy property. Most of London's streets are made of compacted earth mixed with straw, crushed shells, soot, and whatever washes down from the houses. When it rains, the roads turn into a slow-moving river of brown sludge. People walk in it, carts roll through it, animals trudge through it, and there is no version of clean shoes. The city leaves its mark on you. You carry that mark everywhere you go. As you continue, your eyes climb the facades of the houses. The structures feel close, almost too close, as if the buildings lean in to study you. Upper floors jut outward, narrowing the path below and casting shadows even on bright days. The oak beams forming the frame of every home are darkened by smoke, age, and the touch of countless hands. The wattle and daub walls between them are rough and uneven, mixed by human feet, stomping clay and straw together until the material became workable. Every house bears a slight tilt or curve, evidence of generations of repairs and adjustments made without the benefit of modern tools. Construction itself is everywhere. The city is constantly building and renewing. Carpenters shape timber with long pull saws, their steady rhythm echoing down alleys. Brickmakers work outside the city walls, forming clay bricks by hand and drying them in the sun before firing them in large outdoor kilns. The scent of heated clay sometimes drifts into the city, a warm, earthy smell that might be pleasant if it weren't mixed with everything else. Masons carve stone for churches, hearths, and chimneys. Thatchers climb ladders to recover roofs with bundles of straw that must be replaced often. Nothing about construction is quick, nothing is effortless. A single house can take months of coordinated labor, and every part of it relies on skill rather than machinery. Inside the homes, life becomes even more intimate and tightly packed. Imagine an entire family sharing one main room where all essential activities, cooking, eating, sleeping, working, happen within arm's reach. Privacy barely exists. A wooden bench might double as a work table and a bed. Straw mattresses are refilled and shaken, but they never truly lose their smell. A rope bed might sag so deeply that people say you sleep in a smile because the frame sinks in the middle. Above you, clothes hang from rafters to dry or to stay out of the reach of mice. Light is limited. Candles are expensive, so people rely heavily on daylight and firelight. Tallow candles smell strongly of animal fat, and their flickering glow makes every shadow appear alive. Wealthier households might afford beeswax candles, which burn cleaner and brighter, but even these are luxuries used with care. Windows made of glass are rare for common people. Those who do have glass possess small, uneven panes held together with lead. Most families live behind horn or oiled cloth windows, which soften the light but block any clear view. Now, consider how people deal with hygiene. Bathing is infrequent, not because people dislike cleanliness, but because heating water is a laborious task. A single bath could require hours of gathering fuel, heating water over a fire, and carrying it indoors. Most people wash only their faces, hands, and occasionally feet. Hair is cleaned with combs and cloths. Clothes are washed far less often than we would expect today, since the process of soaking, scrubbing, boiling, and drying garments can take an entire day, and that's assuming access to enough water. Water itself is a precious resource. Many homes do not have wells. Instead, people collect water from public conduits or purchase it from water carriers who haul heavy wooden buckets through the streets. Water from the Thames is avoided unless absolutely necessary, especially near the city center where refuse, animal remains, and industrial waste often meet the riverbanks. Sanitation, however, is perhaps the greatest shock to modern expectations. Chamber pots are emptied into ditches or communal waste pits, and it is not uncommon for people to toss waste from upper windows at designated times. The smell lingers, especially during warm months. In some areas, drainage tunnels help carry waste away from homes, but they are far from effective. Rats, always searching for food scraps, wander freely through the city's narrow spaces. People accept them as a nuisance rather than a crisis. And yet, despite all this, the city remains full of vitality. The marketplace reveals this most clearly. Here, colors erupt from every stall, dyed cloth in shades of deep red and blue, stacks of herbs and vegetables, clay pots in earthy tones, and wooden bowls polished to a soft shine. The sounds of commerce blend into a constant hum. Vendors call out prices. Children run between stalls. Animals bleat, grunt, or cluck, depending on the species. Shoppers negotiate loudly. The market is chaotic, but it is also the heartbeat of the city. Food tells you more about Tudor life than almost anything else. Bread is the foundation of most meals, and its quality reveals your social status. The poor eat coarse bread made of mixed grains, while wealthier families enjoy finer white loaves. Meat is often salted or smoked to keep it from spoiling. Fish from the Thames arrives early in the morning, laid on wooden boards that are washed only occasionally. Vegetables are seasonal, and spices are luxuries imported at great cost. Kitchens rely on large iron pots suspended over fire. Every meal requires time, no shortcuts, no prepared ingredients. Even the act of grinding grain or brewing ale becomes part of a family's weekly rhythm. Clothing also tells a story of labor. Wool is the most common fabric, spun by hand and woven on wooden looms. Linen requires flax to be harvested, retted, spun, and woven, a process that tested patience. Most garments are patched and repatched. The dyeing process, using plants or minerals, creates subtle earthy colors that reflect the natural world more than any fashion trend. Even wealthy clothing, with richer colors and finer fabrics, shows signs of individual craftsmanship. The city is not just noisy by day, it also transforms at night. When darkness falls, the streets become dangerous for those without lanterns. Shadows hide uneven ground. Stray animals, and sometimes thieves. People travel in groups when they can. The night also intensifies superstitions. In a world without electric light, every sound becomes sharper, more mysterious. The creak of a wooden beam, the scratching of an animal, the distant whistle of wind moving through narrow alleys. All can stir the imagination. Stories spread easily in a time like this. Tales of ghosts, omens, strange lights, and unexplained noises. Medicine in Tudor London reflects the era's limited knowledge. Illness is common and often misunderstood. People rely on herbal remedies, superstition, and the advice of midwives or local healers. Physicians exist, but they are expensive and trained in theories that mix early science with ancient beliefs. Bleeding, purging, and using poultices of herbs or animal fat are common treatments. Many diseases spread quickly due to crowded living conditions. Fevers, infections, and respiratory problems are constant concerns. Even small injuries can become dangerous in a world without antibiotics. Fire is another ever-present threat. With wooden homes clustered closely together and hearths burning daily, a single spark could destroy an entire street. People sleep lightly, knowing that the scent of smoke at the wrong hour could mean disaster. Buckets of sand and water are kept nearby, but they offer little reassurance. The city has experienced devastating fires in the past, and every citizen carries an awareness of how quickly flames can turn life upside down. Children in Tudor London live active, demanding lives. Many begin working at young ages, helping with chores, running errands, tending fires, or learning trades as apprentices. Play exists, but it is simple. Wooden toys, small balls, songs, and outdoor games. Childhood is shorter, responsibilities heavier, yet laughter still echoes through the streets, proof that even in a harsh environment, joy persists. Animals shape the city as much as people do. Horses pull carts and carry goods. Goats, pigs, chickens, and dogs roam freely at times. Cats live near granaries and homes where they hunt mice. Animals are part of the urban ecosystem, moving in and out of daily routines with little separation between wild and domestic. Guilds maintain order in trades. Carpenters, blacksmiths, coopers, tailors, and other craftsmen belong to associations that regulate quality and train apprentices. These groups help keep the economy running and pass down specialized skills. Their symbols hang above many workshops, marking each craft's presence in the city. Seasonal change affects the rhythm of life deeply. Winter brings cold houses, smoky rooms, and limited daylight. Summer intensifies smells and increases the risk of disease. Spring and autumn are busy times for trade, travel, and construction. The city feels different in every season, shaped by weather and necessity more than by any artificial schedule. Through all of this, the people of Tudor London live with a sense of community anchored in proximity, tradition, and routine. Their world may lack modern comfort, but it thrives on resilience and social connection. Families gather around hearths, neighbors share gossip through open windows, and children shout across alleys. Life feels immediate, present, and communal in a way that modern life often does not. And somewhere within this network of narrow streets, timbered homes, and bustling markets, Anne Boleyn herself once walked, smelling the same smoke, hearing the same horses, navigating the same muddy paths. Her rise to power happened in the midst of this very real, very imperfect, and deeply human city. By walking through London as it truly was, even in reconstructed form, we gain not just knowledge, but perspective. We feel the weight of daily labor, the texture of ancient craftsmanship, the closeness of communities, and the constant negotiation between people and their environment. Tudor London was not glamorous, but it was alive. And through this glimpse, we can understand not just the history of the era, but the lived experience of the people who shaped it. And as we leave Tudor London behind, I want to thank you for walking through this world with me. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss the next one. Your support is what allows these historical places to come alive again. I'd love to hear from you as well. Which city, era, or forgotten corner of history would you like to explore next? Medieval Paris? Ancient Rome? Victorian London? Or perhaps another hidden part of Tudor England? Share your ideas in the comments. I read every single one and they help guide our next travels through time. Thank you for watching, and until our next journey, keep exploring.